However, there is one way that Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage Season 2 could successfully bring back Sheldon. Because Georgie and Sheldon's replacement get along so well, it is more difficult to understand why Georgie ended up resenting his brother for decades. Nevertheless, Season 1, Episode 12, Typhoid Georgie, already alluded to the ways that Georgie's workaholic mindset can occasionally distort his perceptions of his family members. In Typhoid Georgie, Georgie had a fever dream in which he saw his late father George Sr. telling him to ignore his illness and return to work. It was a harsher, less considerate version of George Sr. than viewers were accustomed to, and it didn't mesh well with young Sheldon's more understanding father figure. In universe, though, this made sense because Georgie's unconscious created the hallucination, not the real George Sr. Similarly, Georgie's return in Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage Season 2 could be justified by Georgie dreaming, imagining, or hallucinating his own warped version of Sheldon, which could denigrate Georgie and explain Georgie's growing estranged from his brother. Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage Season 2 could justify the return of young Sheldon's hero by using an imaginary Sheldon to explain how Georgie ended up coming to this misguided conclusion. This could potentially be quite heartbreaking, but it could also explain how Georgie ended up resenting his little brother if Sheldon is portrayed as a figment of Georgie's imagination who mocks or disparages his brother. In the sibling realignment, it is evident that both brothers love one another, but they believe they are mutually hated. Sheldon believes Georgie despises his intelligence, while Georgie believes Sheldon looks down on him. By concentrating on a new main character in Season 2, Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage is obviously unable to replicate the Big Bang Theory's most successful formula shift. The show cannot abruptly shift its focus from Georgie and Mandy to Missy or Connor because the title of the series already identifies its main characters. However, as Reverd points out, young Sheldon and Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage have previously discovered ways to snarl about continuity. But with so many ongoing plots and Connor already replacing Sheldon as the show's resident endearing oddball, there's no reason for the show to make room for Sheldon's return. Sheldon's presence would be a distraction at this stage of the series because of Connor's presence as well as the show's efforts to make Georgie and Mandy an engaging couple of protagonists. Viewers already have a lot of characters to follow, and they require more screen time than a character who has already starred in 2 different sitcoms. In a similar vein, Georgie's disobedient sister Missy persisted in having arguments with her mother, Mary, which indirectly paved the way for Missy's turbulent life path throughout the Big Bang Theory. The titular star of young Sheldon was the only main character absent, and it was understandable why. Sheldon was the main character of young Sheldon, and, by the end of the Big Bang Theory, the main character of that program as well. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more videos.